farmers in some of the world's poorest rural communities. In the end, effective policy is all about making things better at their core. It's about justice, meeting basic needs, and being there when disaster strikes. Good policy guarantees there is always someone ready to stay behind and help. If you want to make a difference, advocating for these meaningful policies is one of the most powerful ways to help. In this book, Mick lays out a guide encouraging everyday heroes with bright ideas to drive the change they seek. The world is evolving, driven by science, technology, and communal wisdom. Today, even if we don't always realize it, more of us can contribute to addressing our most pressing challenges than ever before. We don't have to stay on the sidelines. We can influence decisions at the highest levels of power. This book unveils 8 powerful ways to do just that. Mick argues that a better world is possible, but it requires action from both citizens and leaders. We are our last best hope. Yes, the world is in chaos and we can't ignore it. As we write this, 122 million more people are struggling to find food than in 2019. 1 in 10 people goes to bed not knowing where their next meal will come from. Dire predictions about the consequences of runaway climate change confront us daily. The reverberations of past injustices and traumas give rise to fresh conflicts. History casts its long shadow over our current moment. But in a world that sometimes feels adrift, we find in Mick's teachings a lighthouse. The fight for progress is ours to lead, and now, more than ever, we have the power to act. What can be done must be done. By embracing the wisdom in these chapters, we can rekindle trust in our institutions and offer a beacon of hope to those searching for it. Because, in the end, the most potent antidote to disillusionment is not just to dream of action, but to live it. Idris Elba, actor, artist, and philanthropist. Sabrina Dare Elba, advocate, entrepreneur, and philanthropist. Prologue. It's a dangerous business, Frodo, going out your door. You step onto the road, and if you don't keep your feet, there's no knowing where you might be swept off to. Gandalf the Wizard. Have you ever wondered how to bring about meaningful change in today's divided world, especially when tempting alternatives for validation exist? In today's social media-driven era, seeking affirmation from like-minded individuals through quick posts is easy. It is easier to opt for simplistic, ideologically pure solutions than it is to embrace practical but imperfect ideas when facing complex problems. And it can feel more satisfying to our moral consciousness to reject compromise outright than to find common ground. However, this pursuit of the instant dopamine boost that comes from feeling right, righteous, certain, and safe hinders meaningful change. It may even cause more significant harm in the long run. Consider these scenarios. Tragic events spark social media solidarity, only to return to business as usual after the fact, even among those who criticize those who didn't post in solidarity. Advocates of golden rice face criticism for promoting genetic engineering despite its potential to address vitamin deficiencies in regions plagued by malnutrition. This is so even as many of the foods we consume are genetically modified. Affluent nations renege on climate aid promises while emerging economies respond with, "Fuck you, I won't take any action to reduce our emissions then." The impasse, if unbroken, dooms us all to collective environmental catastrophe. Politicians in wealthy nations call for a universal end to fossil fuel production. Meanwhile, poorer countries question how to prosper if their natural resources are not exploited further, having never had the same opportunity to grow rich from such output. Coal workers share concerns about climate change, yet they also worry about their families and livelihoods, feeling demonized and alienated. Despite our divisions, however, there is hope. Worldwide, people from all walks of life demonstrate that systemic policy change is achievable and flourishing through united voices, cooperation, and solidarity, often hidden from view but undeniably